Hey there, Sparkrock community. Do you ever wish you could track and report on non-financial information in Sparkrock Finance? Maybe you want to show certain expenses but break it down per student. Or maybe you want to track your buildings and their square footage so you can report on cost per square foot. Or maybe you want to be able to allocate donations or expenses based on the number of employees at a given location. You can do all of these things with statistical accounts, which are non-financial ledger accounts used to store quantitative or operational data that can then be used for allocations, analysis, and reporting without affecting your GL's dollar balances. And best of all, they support Sparkrock's account sets if you use them. There's the Statistical Account Ledger, which keeps the balance. It can be populated from the Statistical Account Journal or from purchase or sales documents like purchase invoices or sales credit memos. In this video, we're going to show how to set up a statistical account, demonstrate how to populate it from the Statistical Accounts Journal, show how to populate a statistical account from a purchase invoice. We're going to demonstrate how to use statistical accounts in reports. And then finally, we're going to show you how to use statistical accounts with allocation accounts. Let's get started. Statistical account setup starts with going to Tell Me, searching for statistical accounts, and then navigating to the statistical accounts page. You'll see that I have some here already. So let's create two new ones called employees to track the number of employees and printers to track the number of printers that we have. So I'm going to select new and I'll create our employee statistical account. And then I'll do the same for printers. That's all there is to the setup. If you'd like, you can give them default dimensions, but we're going to leave it as for now. So now that we have our accounts and you see they have a balance of 0 because we've just created them, let's see how to populate them. Using the Statistical Account Journal is similar to the General Journal, and you can navigate there by going to Tell Me and searching for Statistical Account Journal, or there's an action right here on the Statistical Accounts page where we can select and navigate straight there. So to keep things simple, let's say at the start of 2025, there were 1,600 employees split between two departments 70-30. So we'll select our employees statistical account that we just created, and in this case, we'll put 1120 employees, and we'll select an account set. It pre-fills in the dimensions. If you don't use account sets, you can just set the dimensions manually. And we'll do the rest to another account set. So you can see we're populating these employees between two account sets. And then let's say in January, we added 20 employees. And in February, we added 5. But let's say in March, we lost 20 employees. So we expect when we post this, we should have a balance of 1,605 employees when you take all this into account. So to post it, we'll select the Register button. Yes, we want to register the journal lines. And now when we go back to the Statistical Accounts page, we can see indeed we have our 1,605 employee balance. And if we select the balance, we can see the Statistical Account Ledger entries that made up that balance. So you can always drill down and see where the numbers are coming from. So this is one way to populate a statistical account by making journal entries using the Statistical Account Journal. Now let's see how to do it through a purchase document. All right, I'm here on a purchase invoice and I have the header filled out. And on this line, we're going to add a purchase of 5 printers. So I'll select the item, add 5 like normal. And we have this statistical account number column. So if we want to keep a running total of the number of printers that we have, we can select our printer's statistical account that we created earlier. And then let's give it an account set. And when we scroll over, we can see it's set our dimensions. So now we can preview posting. And you can see we can preview the statistical ledger entry. It's going to assign 5 to our printer's statistical account, and it's going to apply this account set and the dimensions. So now when we post it, and we go to our statistical accounts, we can see that the balance of printers is now 5. And when we drill down, we can see that statistical account ledger entry that's been posted. Now that we have our statistical accounts created and populated, we can use them in reports. For example, I have this simple income and expense report. If I preview it, we can see it's just income, ends with net income. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some new rows here. So I'm going to edit the row definition. You can see I have this line here with the net income. That's what we saw earlier. So I'm going to add a new row here. I'm going to call it employees. And instead of a posting account, I'm going to select a statistical account. And I'm going to select our employees statistical account that we created and populated. And it will be the balance at that day. And then I'm going to add another line, call it revenue per employee. This one's going to be a formula similar to what we see here. And I'm just going to take the net income, divide it by our employees line. And now when we go back to the report definition and we scroll down, we can see our 1605 employees that we populated earlier and the revenue per employee. So if we preview it again, so you can see these statistical accounts can be used both to show on a report, but also in a calculation on a report. Allocation accounts let you predefine how to distribute revenue or costs across different GL accounts and dimensions. Statistical accounts work great with variable allocation accounts. You can automatically distribute amounts across GL accounts and dimensions based on changing values, not just fixed percentages. And those changing values don't have to be financial. With statistical accounts, they can now be based on non-financial values. For example, I have an allocation account started here called EMP for employees. It's type variable, and I want to split the salaries expense between two different departments based on the number of employees. So I've got my first line here, and I'll select my salaries GL account, and I'll select my account set for the admin one that will populate the dimensions. Now for breakdown account type, I won't select GL account or bank account, I'll select statistical account, and I'll select that employee's statistical account that we have. And when it's using the statistical account to break down, I only want it to look at the admin employee. So I'm going to select breakdown account balance filters, and I only want it to select the admin ones. And now we're going to do our second line. We also want it to go to salaries still. However, we want it to use the production account set now. We're going to use that same employee statistical account, but this time we only want it to look at those production employees. So I'm going to go breakdown account balance filters again. I'm going to select production. And now when we select test allocation and we have $1,000 to test allocate, you can see that it's breaking down this $1,000, $710 and $289 because of our balance as of this date for these different dimensions. So as the number of employees between the two departments fluctuates over time, the breakdown will fluctuate as well. And now going forward, when we use this allocation account in journal entries and going forward, it'll automatically split the salary based on the number of employees. So that's your introduction to statistical accounts in Sparkrock Finance. As you've seen, statistical accounts let you track and report on meaningful non-financial data like employees, assets, or square footage, and use that data to drive smarter analysis and allocations, all without impacting your GL balances. So make sure to check out the release notes and reach out to your customer success manager if you'd like help identifying new ways that statistical accounts can support your reporting and allocation needs. Thanks so much for watching.